वेलकम टू वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम 2025. वी आर एट इंडिया पेविलियन. हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही खास मेहमान है. आई हैव विद मी श्री राम मोहन नायडू, सिविल एविएशन मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया. सर, थैंक यू so much for joining us at Times Network and congratulations. There is a lot of buzz about India. India Pavilion is buzzing and I've met so many people who are saying that it almost seems like the summit is happening in India. There is so much curiosity about India. What is your experience of being here?
Thank you very much. And in fact, that is the energy that I have also witnessed specifically here. And I have to say, give my special thanks to Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji for picking up a young team to represent India here. If you see me and also Chirag Paswan and Jayant Chaudhary, so we are all youngsters coming in for the first time, and I think that's the kind of confidence our Prime Minister has on the young generation of the country also. And in fact, if I've been going around the WEF also, and so much buzz, so much excitement, activities surrounding India. If you see both the India pavilions that have been established at the summit, you're seeing people from all over the world trying to come and trying to witness the growth story of India, and they are so confident that if we want to grow in the future, let it be any department, any area, they feel that India is going to lead the way, so better take the initiative right now itself. So it is very exciting to see that kind of, and I feel that India is rightfully taking the position it has to take in the world.
Absolutely. India also, I mean, obviously it's one of the fastest growing aviation markets, large aviation markets in the world, but it also happens to be the third largest aviation market at this point. So what is the response that you are receiving from global companies who are looking forward to invest in India or operate in India?
I mean, there is a lot of excitement, and they really want to involve themselves in the growth story of India. We know that it is the third largest domestic market in the world today, and we know that there is also the Viksit Bharat plan that we are envisaging under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, where we want to become the #1 domestic market in the world itself. So in that growth story, there is a lot of opportunity, not just for domestic players, but for international players also. That is why they feel that we can involve ourselves in the growth story of India, and this whole potential the civil aviation carries. And I have to give you some numbers also. In the last 10 years especially, the number of airports that we have built in the country from 74 to 159. No other country has achieved this kind of growth. And also the number of passengers that we are adding every year, right from in 2014, we have almost doubled the number of passengers that are traveling through air travel today. So you take any statistic and you see that civil aviation is actually seeing an unprecedented growth, not only as compared to previous Indian numbers, but also world level also. And it's showing up to 10 to 15% growth story. That's a very, very encouraging and very prospective area for the whole world itself, trying to eye the opportunity that Indian civil aviation has. And we are also opening up. We are also trying to bring in more players into the civil aviation sector, because we want top-notch quality in the kind of services that we want to give, and we want our own airports or the aviation to be of world-class standards. So with that determination, I think this World Economic Forum also becomes a very important platform for us, where we showcase India and the growth story that we have and the future that we want to be, and kind of involve the whole international players also who are very much interested in this area.
Right. Sir, in fact, there is a feeling, if you look at the metro sectors in India or the metro cities, there is almost a situation where all flights are running full, and there is a sort of an undercapacity, which is also leading to price hikes on the domestic routes. How do we unlock the potential of domestic flyers, the number of domestic flyers that we have, and probably look at a slightly more affordable price mechanism?
I think you have rightly put it. When you see the fare situation also, when you see slightly higher numbers than expected, it is an indication that there is a lot of demand, because the airfare prices is also a supply and demand market driven thing. So that is where we see a great opportunity also. We have 1,700 planes in order right now for the Indian air carriers. So as and when these planes come into operation, as and when they are delivered and they operate in certain routes, and definitely with the coming of more airplanes, aircrafts into the air travel, definitely the prices are going to come down. So we are actively pursuing with the manufacturers to get the orders as soon as possible, because we have the we are the country with the highest number of orders. So we are trying to leverage that position so that we get in more orders also. And on the other side, we have different schemes from the Civil Aviation Ministry. In fact, this was also one of the brainchild of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who famously said that I want Hawai Chappal Wala also to do the Hawai Safar. So taking a cue from that message, he has envisaged Udan scheme, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik scheme, which has revolutionized, actually democratized the air travel situation in the country. We have built a lot of airports, but the challenge was in connecting the non-viable airports where the airlines were feeling a little bit challenging for them to operate those routes. So then we have attached them to the Udan scheme where we are providing some kind of viability gap funding so that ultimately the benefit trickles down to the passenger who was not willing to pay that much for that route. So that created a lot of new routes in the country itself, and today we can proudly say that since the beginning of that Udan scheme, we have started 619 new routes. Out of them, many are operational also today. And through that, we have connected the underserved and unserved airports also. And like you said, how do we see it in the future? We are trying to expand the Udan network into much more more airports also into the country. And we are trying to bring in a lot of other options. Let's say eVTOLs is some important, interesting innovation that is coming up in civil aviation. So we want to get that inside India. Seaplane network is there, which is not fully utilized. So we are trying to see how can seaplanes be utilized so that more air travel, more air connectivity can be given in the country. Helicopters is underserved in the country as compared to a lot of developing and developed nations. So we are trying to promote helicopter network also. So not only looking at aircrafts and the airports and people moving from here and there, we are looking at other areas also within civil aviation and trying to access the full potential that these areas have. So that has been one of our priorities in the last 7 months of me being the minister also.
Right. Sir, I witnessed one very interesting kiosk here where they were talking about air taxis operating from Zurich to Davos. India has a huge potential looking at especially the urban high density areas that we have. What is your view on air taxi as an option in India?
Let me tell you, air taxis are going to be a reality very, very soon, probably in the beginning of the next year itself. And many countries like UAE and USA, they're all already moving into operation stage. And I don't want India to be behind in that. And not just because of the optics, but I feel that it's going to provide an excellent solution for the traffic congested urbanized areas, especially the metropolitan cities. What might take you 2 hours by road, if you have an air taxi, it might just take you 10 to 15 minutes. So imagine the kind of advantage this kind of network will create in urban areas. So from our side, from the area of civil aviation, we are trying to create the necessary legislation or regulation so that we don't miss out on the timelines. I'm also trying to see that these air taxis come into play within the first half of next year, 2026, because the technology is already there. There are people across the world trying to manufacture the planes, and Indigo also has ordered 200 of those from one big company in USA. So by the time they come to India, I want the regulation to already be ready. So we are already within our civil aviation DGCA. I've had close interaction with them, and we have told them to speed up the process of having the regulation in place, while keeping the safety of the passenger also in mind. So we are moving proactively into that, not only in Davos to Zurich. We would like to see it in Delhi, we would like to see it in Bombay, we would like to see it in Chennai. So all the metropolitan cities, I feel there is a huge scope for that. So we are following up on the legislation, and I would say right now that we are reaching the timelines.
Sir, like you mentioned, India has seen exponential growth as far as civil aviation market is concerned in last 10 years. The kind of infrastructure that has been put in place, or the kind of pending aircraft orders that we have. Is this growth sustainable? Are we just at the beginning of the exponential growth that we have witnessed so far? What is your prediction for, let's say, next 5 to 10 years for Indian civil aviation market?
Absolutely. I think you have answered the question with the question also. We are on the brink of seeing the growth, the full potential that civil aviation has in the country itself. What we have done in the last 10 years, we have seen exponential growth. But that has all been providing the foundation that is required for us to leapfrog right now. We are actually taking off right now. We have built the whole ecosystem that is required. And we have shown the world that what the potential is for India. And now people are interested to come to India. People are interested to...
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.